Hello YouTube, we are back for another upload in relation to America's Greatest Comics #2. Here it is. As you can see, it's in rough shape. And this is the second full upload in relation to this book. I believe it's the second full upload. And if you haven't been watching, I did about 30 plus, I think approximately 35 shorts under a minute showing me removing the water damage that took place with this book. Essentially, if you didn't watch the prior uploads, there was a book that was rested on top of the cover and the back, and what happened was it got wet and the book that was resting on the top and the back peeled off onto the cover and the back cover, and I was successful in removing it. There were two tiny issues. I have a little color loss right here on Captain Marvel's thigh, this little area. I was unable to save it. It disintegrated. And then right here on Spy Smasher's mouth and chin. But the cool thing about it is I was able to salvage the piece of Spy Smasher's chin, and it's in this container, and we're going to reinstall it at a later time. But we have some questions to ask. And before I ask and answer those questions, here is the before and after. I'm going to give you a comparison of what it looked like before, what it looked like after. This is the front cover, the primary areas that had the paper from another book on it. And this is the back cover of the areas before and after that had the book adhered to it because of water damage. So I think I did a pretty good job. I'm very happy with it. Now, what I want to do with this is I want to try to keep this book in a universal grade, okay? Because we really didn't do anything that would trigger a conserved grade or a restored grade. All we did was remove paper that was on it, and I used water and a little soap, a tiny drop I used as well with the water. And I used mechanical tools. And one of the tools that I used was a brush. And I also used my number 10 blade to remove it. Now, this is an X-Acto knife. It's very dull. This is not sharp. If I run it against my finger, it doesn't even break blood or cut anything. If I used a sharp blade, I would have destroyed the book. So if you're going to do like I did in the shorts, check them out, you have to use a very dull blade. Very important. So the objective now for this book is I want to try to remove some of this blue and the ink that ran into the whites of the cover and also in the back. You can see there is a lot of damage, and this may have been some type of mold. I can probably get it off a little bit, and I can see how it's coming dark, the eraser. But before dry erasering the cover, I want to try to remove some of this color and wet clean it. And how are we going to wet clean it? Well, I'm going to soak it. And I'm going to soak it purely in H2O. Only water. And the reason why I'm soaking it only in water, because at this stage in the game, I want to try to keep the book as a universal. I don't want to go for the conserved grade. I just want to try to keep it in the blue label. This is a rare book in my opinion. And although I can start leaf casting the spine and leaf casting the pieces that are missing, I don't think it's necessary. I want to try to make it where it is aesthetically better looking right now. That's my main goal. And when I do these things, guys, sometimes I change my opinion out of the blue. So I may clean the cover and out of mid-cleaning, I'm going to say, you know what, Jerry, I don't want to do that. I want to do a conserved grade. But right now, the goal is to keep it universal. So how are we going to do this? Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to get my tub with my lighting grate. Just like this. Very simple. Nothing complex. Okay? So we have my grate here. And then I have a piece of... This is Ramay. This is not Hollytex. We're going to put the cover in the tub. And then what I want to do is I want to put the water in. And I have a gallon of water here, just regular tap water. And what I don't mind doing this is that since the book did have water damage, obviously the whole cover got wet. I have no issue with using water to try to clean some of the issues with it, as we see. I have no problem with it. And I feel that the water being used when the cover already had water damaged is similar to the damage that occurred with the water itself. If that makes sense, I don't know if I'm making sense today. I'm a little tired right now when I'm filming this. So essentially what I am saying is, since there was water on the book to begin with, why not a little bit more water to try to clean out the damage that the water did? So this is 1 gallon. And I'm going to stop the camera right now because I want to put a little bit more water in. I'm going to get another gallon of water. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. So what I want to do is I want to put another gallon into my vessel here. And what you're going to see, and it's going to be amazing, because just plain H2O is going to remove a lot of the stains that are on this cover. And you're going to see by way of example, because we're going to let this soak for a good 15 minutes or so. And I'm going to let it penetrate the water. We're going to let it sink. And when you do these things, you try to get the air bubbles out of it, as you just saw. And I'm going to try, matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of Hollytex over the cover, just like this, okay? And we're going to submerge the cover by using another grate. And I'm going to put a little weight on the grate so it stays under water without any problem. Just like this. We'll lower it slowly. Just like that. And now it will soak, hopefully pretty rigid underneath underneath the Hollytex in 1 grate, and it will be under the water for quite some time. Now, when I put some weight down, sometimes I'll just use the plastic container that I use to put the water in, and you're going to see, like I said, that there is going to be a major improvement. I also may use, if I am so bold to do it, the suction table, or my actual table that I use for leaf casting. Okay, that's another way I can get some of these inks out. We'll reverse it and I'll suck it downwards, and hopefully I'll be able to draw out some of the stains that way. But when I do these types of things with the goal of keeping it in a universal grade, maybe we always like to start with the less aggressive means. And you'll see that if I let this soak for a little bit longer, if I just use basic paper towels, and I've done this before using capillary action, I'll be able to draw out some of these colors that are in the whites just by using a paper towel. So I'm going to stop the camera now. Okay, guys, the cover has been soaking for about 15 minutes. That's enough for the first application. So what are we going to do next? What we're going to do next is I want to press this with the bookbinding press. That's the key thing that we are going to do right now. And by pressing it, hopefully what will happen is that by using some paper towels, we will be able to extract some of these stains and make it a lot better looking than it actually is. I also want to try to flatten it out a little bit. So let me remove the cover. Let's get rid of the tub. I'm going to put it to the side right now. And then we're going to work on, like I said, oh, let's take a look at the water. Let's see, do we have any colors in it? Not really. So that wasn't very successful in removing colors from the cover itself. So hopefully what will happen is we will be able to remove some of the colors when we press it. So right now what I want to do, let's put it on my mat. And we're going to do some working where we are going to straighten it out a little bit, because we are going to try to press the cover, and we are going to use paper towels, and hopefully it will draw out some of the inks, making the cover look a lot better. So what I want to do is I want to take off this first piece of Hollytex, and I want to be very careful taking it off because I don't want to pull any of the graphics off. Just like that. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to try to straighten out as best as possible the piece of Hollytex that I have on the bottom. So what we'll do is we'll pull it to the right, to the left, and I'll try to make this as flat as possible. And I want to just make sure that none of the graphics are going to be lifted when we press it. So right now I think everything is looking pretty straight. I'm pretty happy with the way it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the piece of Hollytex that I have on the side so we can put it on to the front of the cover. And then I'm going to do a little hand blotting. And we're going to see if that hand blotting will be able to bring up some of the colors that bled into the white. So what we have here is a paper towel. Let's take that out. And let's just see if the blotting alone will be able to bring some color up. And I do right here, if you can see it, hopefully the camera's picking it up. Do you see that darkness that just came up? That is the whites that is cleaning. Look at this. There is a lot of dirt that is coming off. And that's a good thing. I can see it right here. So right now I'm very happy with what just happened. And what does that mean? What it means is that we will be able to absorb some of the damage, the water damage that occurred more by just using the press. And to me, guys, by doing it this way, this is not in any way restoration or even conservation that CGC should pick up. It's just my opinion, because we're really not adding anything of substance into the book. We're not adding calcium hydroxide or calcium carbonate or any other chemicals that are used by conservators. We are just using pure H2O and mechanical means. And I still believe that by doing it that way, you are within the framework of a universal grade. So right now we're going to put another piece of paper towel just like this. And I want to get my pieces of plastic, which I omitted to putting down. And I'm looking and I can't find where I have them. My shop is in a little disarray right now because I've been working nonstop with my regular career. And I don't know where my plastic films are, which is fine. We're just then going to use the shelving units, and that's fine. And then we'll figure out where those pieces of plastic went when I am off the camera. So right here, what we're gonna do is I am going to put the second shelving unit. And matter of fact, I'm going to shut the camera off because I think I may have just found them. So hang loose. Okay, guys, we're back. So I didn't find my second sheets, but that's fine. We're just going to put it between the shelving units, just like this. And then I'm going to really wrench down on it in the bookbinding press. And then you will see in the next upload, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing the amount of dirt that was pulled out just by doing this process. So stay tuned. Next upload, you're going to see what's going to be pulled out. And then most likely we're going to do another application of the soaking. And we're going to do that maybe 2 or 3, 4 times. And then just by doing that alone, it will be night and day in relation to how it looks with the removal of the stains. So thank you for stopping by. Appreciate your support and stay tuned.